Cipher.txt this time.
Yeah, what is ciphertext? Look at the riddle page.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I got it. Yes.
But it's important we know what ciphertext is. What's our ciphertext? Anybody? Ciphertext is specific and encryption and decryption. Specific term. Yep.
The encrypted text.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the encrypted content. Alright, so let's
So anything else we're adding to this file?
what is that?
This is added to this file, right?
Yeah. Basically because we're specifying that it should look for the ciphertext there.
We got Takagi.
Is that something from Die Hard? Anybody?
Yep.
It's the name of the corporation that they're assaulting.
Alright, good job guys, good job guys.
Oh, cool shit. Thanks, guys. UD.
So Jody, real quick, how did you figure out what that command was? Like, what was your thought process on that?
I did it with my tutor.
Oh. Okay, so, better question then.
Yeah.
We'll test how much you picked up from it. What is your understanding of the thought process to get the answer on that?
I mean, that's a good question.
Ah, man. Alright, so you're right in the same bucket with everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So, real quick rundown with it just once again. When you do encryption, there's a few major components, especially with OpenSSL. They're basically, when you encrypt something, you're going to end up having a few things that are created. Especially when using like some of the well-known encryption algorithms, you're going to end up having a key, which is basically the encryption key that is needed. That key is basically what the message is encrypted with. In combination with the key, you also need the IV, or what is like basically considered an initialization vector. And I don't know if you guys remember when we were talking about just randomness and how randomness is generated, but basically the initialization vector is a generated bit of randomness that basically makes the encryption stronger. That, to not get too complicated and go over my head level of explanation skills. So basically, and then you have that in the ciphertext, which is the encrypted message. So you got the key, IV, ciphertext, and that's encryption. Now, this one has to do with hashing. Was that a question? Shoot it. Alright, we're good to go.
This one kind of goes with
It does go with
this one kind of goes with that video we watched, the colors, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't like to give the private, maybe the public would not be. It's alright, it's shipping a little bit. The lag.
So Jill, wouldn't he use, because he wants to send a message to Jill, so he would use Jill's public key so he can send it to her?
Okay, so hold on. I need to hear the whole thing in one sentence to get this. Good answer for you. Jack and Jill went up a hill to use their public keys. Jack had 2 and Jill did 2. 2 exchanged their messages with ease. What would Jack use to send an encrypted message?
Oh, it would be her key because he wants to hit it, huh?
It's like he would send it with her public key so she can encrypt it with her own private key, right?
Right, not his key, it'd be hers. I think you're right.
Yeah, I think it's the... yes. And then
So when Jill used to decrypt Jack's message, Jill's private key, right?
Yeah.
Because when she gets it, she converts it to private.
She has to like send it back. Like they have to like combo.
Exactly.
She has to encrypt it
Jack and Jill
with
go
her
to private
private.
house
Good
and
job,
shit.
guys. Good understanding of that shit.
To exchange some messages, how many keys would they all need for asymmetric versus symmetric encryption?
6 of them.
Well, if they
Well, how
each
many
have
people
two, and if they each have 2 and there's 6 of them, then that would be
12.
Formula.
So I like where Jody was going.
Yeah, it's 12 and 30 or 12
Yeah,
and 15.
that's 12 because they each have a public and a private.
But what's the symmetric? Is it 15 or 30? Isn't 30 because symmetric is more, right? But
I think because of how many people there are, it is going to be a larger number.
30,
Because they have
I
to do
think.
multiple different transfers, and if you do,
Whoa,
I'm just
whoa,
thinking
whoa.
6.
Whoa, okay.
The math of the symmetric.
So, hold on. We should really just discuss this
Yeah, before we shoot it.
straight through logically instead of just randomly. So, Jody's logic for figuring out how many asymmetric keys or whatever they would need for for whatever.
Yeah, then 6,
versus
then
symmetric.
6, 12, 18, 20, 30 times 5.
I believe she's correct for the asymmetric for sure. So that leaves the symmetric. Now with the symmetric, that's some interesting numbers here.
I know what.
6, 12, 18, 24. With
There's a
30, right?
formula to calculate both.
Isn't
15 guys.
That's right, there is one. You're right, it might be the 15 because...
It's 6 times 6 minus 5, no, it's 6 minus 1, so 6 times 5 is 30 divided by 2, which is 15.
Oh, there, yeah, okay, that's
Divided by
the
2.
formula.
It's n times n minus 1 divided by 2.
Yeah.
Divided by 2. That's right, because 30 would be right, so we back up.
Yeah,
I
there's
slapped the
entire.
formula.
Good call.
Okay.
So Tim just sent an encrypted message to one of his friends. Which of the following keys did he likely use to encrypt the message?
Tim's private key. Because we don't know what friends, we can't put in Peter, Bob, Alice.
Right, because he's sending it from him, yeah. And
And then
it's already
he's
encrypted.
encrypting it with his private
It's
key.
already encrypted, he's sending it privately.
Can we stop?
No, but if he's hold on. If he's sending it to a friend, he would have
it's
to use
public,
the
it's
friend's
public.
public key.
So it's his
All right,
only one.
good.
Right,
logic,
because Tim
Jody.
would use his friend's private key to get... Yeah, okay.
Tim would use his friend's public key.
Before
There is
we start
nobody-
anything, let's discuss this.
Alice, you
Jody.
see Alice kind of the bottom?
Oh.
Alice's public key.
Nobody pays attention to the woman.
What was
See,
Jody-
there's
what was
something against the
Jody's
men.
Oh, shit.
Fuck
All
that.
right, Jody.
I was paying attention. What was Jody's logic there?
Women over everything.
Fine, they talk too much.
Because she mentioned it in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And Tim can't send it to himself. He's not sending it to
Yeah.
himself.
Whoa. Okay, so
Oh,
what is the
very
It's a friend.
reasoning? What is the reasoning? It's a public, not private key.
Because you're sending it to the friend, and then the friend uses their
Yeah,
own
Jody.
private key to open it.
I know you know the answer.
Right.
Yeah, because
So
we're
once
not
it
going to
gets
have
there, they can
somebody's
turn it
private key.
private, right, but that makes sense.
Jody's been doing really good with this.
I need to get into that tutoring.
Yeah. I
Okay.
need to tune it, that's what I say, you can just take the words
You know
out of my
what?
mouth, I
That's
need to start
really
doing this shit too.
shitty. What if I just did a good job?
It could be a
Good
little bit
job.
of both.
It's both.
You're
It's
getting
both.
it better
Oh,
than
wait
we
a
are.
second.
Tim's public key.
Is it
Alice's
Tim's?
public key.
Why would it be Tim's? Hold on. Before we click things, we need to make sure we know why we're clicking. So, why did you choose Tim's is what we should figure out.
Well, to one of his friends, it's going to one of his friends, so he's using their public key.
Well,
Why are
isn't
your
he using
answers
their-
in a
Why
different
isn't he
order?
using their private key?
I say it's Tim because he's the only one specified in the question in any of the answers.
Well, no. Okay, so you have to think about this here too. We don't get a name for who he's sending it to, but he has to send it to his friend's public key. The only other person in there that has
There we
public
go.
key
would be
There's-
Alex.
there's
He's
the-
not going to use his
Tyler.
own public key. If he's sending it to, like, if he's using his key, he's going to use his private key, not his public key. But that won't send it out if he's using his private key.
Yeah, he has to use his
Well,
private
he needs to,
key.
yeah, because he needs to know Alice's public key to get the
So
message over to
Jody
her.
was correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
Jody
trying
was
to
correct.
explain. Yeah.
That was a good way of explaining it, and there's basically two ways that I realized you could have figured this out. Jody's and the logic Tyler just explained is how you should know this. Basically, this type of encryption works with you need the other person's public key to send them a message. They will decrypt it with their private key. Yes, your private key is used also in the sauce that's created the encryption for the message, but you really essentially, that's not really like considered a real requirement, because I kind of don't like how they phrase this, because you technically do need your private key and their public key. But I mean, generally the part that you have a private key to encrypt the message with would be like assumed, because it's what you need to do this type of encryption, or to do this type of exchange in the first place. Like this whole framework and technology works off of you need someone else's public key, and it's secure because of that. And basically, how the reason it's secure is because how your private key and your public key are mathematically correlated to be used in these types of transactions. It's really intense. Tons of.
It explained it. Korben explained it with that paint picture too. That paint video.
That's one of the best types of examples.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite. Now, besides logic, I can tell you right now, there's one other way you guys could have figured this out just by good test taking skills. Phil, I see what you're trying to do, but you're kind of missing some of the key things here. I guess actually it would depend on how much background knowledge you know about how this type of public-private key encryption shit works.
I knew it was going to come down between Tim and Alice, but I was just saying you can take the other ones out.
So 50-50 and you chose wrong, bitch. No, I'm just kidding.
What I look at is there's 3 answers that are private key, have private key in them, and I mean, I would either assume those 3 are the right selection, or the other 2 are the ones that are a right selection. So that's a 50-50 shot by just choosing public or private. And then based off of the fact that, you know, Tim probably doesn't need his public key to send a message to himself, I would choose Alice's public key and still have gotten the right answer, I'm guessing. So let's see if this is the right answer, because that'd be funny if it wasn't. Shit. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Bingo. 7G. SN3. ND2.
So I like that encryption thing.
That makes a lot more sense now, to be honest.
It's not going to make sense until you use it like several times. So, you know, there will be a
Cat in the fiddle. Little dog laughter in the fence, empty 5 hash, and dictionary with a spoon. Okay, here's the hash.
I'm working on it. I got, okay, the answer is Argyle.
Gotta explain how you got it.
You gotta explain how you got the answer.
I googled MD5 hash decryptor. I clicked the first link. It says enter your MD5 hash below and cross your fingers. I hit decrypt, and it gave me found Argyle.
ARGILE?
ARGYLE.
Oh, good. Job.
Alright, hold on. Come on now. We can't do everything with online decryptors.
Michael,
There's
Yeah, you can.
built-in
Hey,
command-line utilities for this.
From day one,
You're the one
you
who
said Google it. That's been your answer. Google it.
Yeah, but now you guys are starting to get good enough to like try to expand past the easiest answer. So you're welcome. So there's a way to do this, and it's common for like checking shit with packages. Like, I mean, I've seen people have to write scripts for this. Most companies have scripts that do this.
To a terminal, you're saying decrypt the hash like that?
Right. Wait, what?
No, never mind.
Yeah. So open up your terminal. I'm about to zoom at some stuff out to you because we can. Woohoo! Spam. Basically, with this, you guys are smart enough to tell me what text you need to replace in this. I think. Well, fairly certain. Come on, enter. Go.
I mean, wouldn't you use a hashcat because that's a password cracker?
Huh? Well, we're not really. Well, actually. Wait, what? Now I'm confused.
Because we're on riddle 5, right?
Yeah, it gives you a hash.
Yeah, it says do what?
I'm asking, would you use a hash cat?
Well, I mean, I'm confused at what it was asking because I don't see it up on the question up here anymore. So now I'm confused at what the question actually
Oh,
is.
I'm reading it off my screen.
No, we're just saying, hey, diddle, diddle, cat in the fiddle. Here's a hashtag or hash, whatever.
Yeah, it says the little dog laughed when it found this MD5 hash, and the dish ran away with the spoon. But up at the top, it gives you the hash.
Yeah. So can we get that up? Sorry, I'm very visual sometimes.
Yeah.
Hey, diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle. The cow jumped over the moon when I found this MD5 hash, and the spoon dish ran away with the spoon. Oh, maybe you're right. Tyler, or who gave us the answer? How did you find that? Whoever gave us the answer.
I just looked up hash. I just looked the word hash up, and then it came up with the hash cat, and that's
yeah, because that's one thing that you could use, but I didn't know that was what this was asking. So now I'm curious on how. I think it was Tyler got the answer, right, Tyler?
Yeah.
Right.
That's mine. Shit.
That's your cue.
We're good.
He said he just put the hash into a hash code, cracker on a website.
You guys hear me?
Yeah. What was it?
Yeah, I googled.
Let's run that real quick. I want to see this because that's interesting. I feel like you're probably right though, Jody, because I was thinking of something else. I was thinking of verifying hashes.
Yeah,
I'm trying it right now with Hashcat, but it's taking a while.
Yeah,
I don't know if I have the syntax right.
I googled MD5 hash, and it showed on Google came up with decryptor, and then so it took me to md5online.org, which was the first one, and md5-decrypt.html, and then it says enter your MD5 hash below and cross your fingers. So you enter it, and hit the button that says decrypt, and then it comes back with your answer in a couple seconds.
That's pretty interesting.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah,
I'm running that command, and it's not giving me that though. The one that you put in Slack.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Like I did it that way because that's what we did when we were doing that hack the box.
Let's use like the Ripper, John the Ripper, or something like that. Maybe possible, right?
Oh, those are interesting online tools, actually, guys. Good shit.
What?
That's actually probably quicker than Hashcat because they have a database. Like, I guess they have a database and they're using like their software, so that's actually pretty sick that they have that online.
Websites that we found on Google?
Yeah, the one on Google, like any of those, like the md5crypt.net. So definitely use that because it would take a lot longer if you tried to run and crack that hash.
I'm trying it, but it's taking forever.
All right, let's go to the next question. We know how to figure it out.
All right, roll 6.
This is the one that's interesting.
This is where I kind of
this
got tripped. This is something that tripped me up.
Oh, this is what we did the other night.
Yeah, this is something that I was still very
Harry
confused
had a
after.
secret code hidden in
You have to use that if you want or something.
and everywhere that's
I'm gonna download the JPEG really quick so I can.
That's just a vote to.
There we go. Okay, so what?
Second.
Yeah, we're going to walk. I'm excited to understand this. This is something that's confusing me still.
So you're gonna need Cali,
Yeah,
and you're gonna need to download that photo.
got it.
Yeah. That's not like me.
I'm just gonna move it on
Then
over
you're gonna
really
need
quick.
that photo.
Okay.
Oh, we already have the JPEG. It's in the homework folder.
Is it?
Yeah.
Now it's in my
Go.
downloads.
Yeah. Well, you can do that. You can also go into the homework assignments and just go into your
Great,
resources
great.
for week 10. And it's in there too.
It's like I'm gonna shut my screen, sorry, so that's better. I'm trying to move this shit over. Hold on a second. There we go. So much. I need 2 monitors here.
Yeah, dude. I need a third.
Like I don't know. But
Especially
Yeah,
being on
right
Zoom.
there.
If I wasn't on Zoom, I think it would be a little easier to run too.
Probably.
Alright.
So this, I dedicate one
Right,
entire
that's
one
over
to
here.
it now.
What was it called? Mary Dash Lamb. Okay. Kelly. We do it the other day. Let me see.
All right, Jody. Let's see if your tutoring pays off. You take this.
I know, but we did the other day. I forget. It was actually really cool. I'm looking at pictures.
Yeah, I was.
Phone right here.
This is something that I just didn't completely grasp.
Jody's a good addition to the group, huh?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Let me see what I can.
Oh. GPG. No? No.
Well,
where's
I
Kobe?
downloaded the file in virtual machine. You just did that, right?
Yeah, it's on my desktop, McKelly.
Yeah, I transferred it over from my desktop.
Probably working on homework.
He's working on his homework.
Yeah, I think he hasn't signed it.
Oh yeah, because he's still a student too in like regular college.
I'm trying to look through all my notes and pictures here. The other day.
Well, then you would go to your recent. So where did you save it? Did you save it to downloads?
To the desktop.
So then you would look, CD desktop, and then you would LS and see if it's there.
It's there.
So then, let's see.
I just forget what command we used to break this.
Was it stag hide?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's what it recommends, I guess. So I'd go ahead and start with that. Just because I know you can use the tool, you can use text stuff, but
I don't think I used that though. I mean, I don't know. I was guessing. I don't know about that.
text stuff does the same thing. Stag hide's pretty much just like a wrapper for it. That makes it like work better, or makes it easier to use, I guess. But yeah, like less options. Pretty much what it comes down to.
So I'm looking through my notes. I'm embedding it, but we're not embedding it. We're trying to extracting it, right? It's like I extract or something like that.
Not sure, but probably.
It's like how to extract -SF or CF.
Just gonna man it.
SF. Yeah, you're right. I just looked it up. You're
No
right.
manual entry.
So it'd be like stick ahead.
Oh, see, there's not man pages for tools that don't usually come installed with the system.
Oh.
Or unless the people
That's
like
just
deliberately wrote a manual for it and then told the manual to install itself where man pages are when you installed the tool.
We need to make a passphrase, huh? So we have to make a passphrase?
Remember it was on the
look.
book? The ABC, it was on the book, all uppercase? I don't know if that
Hey,
matters.
Kobe, you still joining? Hey, Kobe, we were just talking about you. I told him that you were probably working on your assignment.
What was the ABC? It was on.
Yeah. Remember it was on our book?
Or orange book.
Oh, yeah, capital ABC, huh?
So what we're working on right now is the homework for this week. We're on riddle 7. Hey, Tyler, you wanna like
Got it.
post
course,
all the answers up to now in chat in case you want to just run through them real quick and catch up to us. We can do like a quick rundown of what happened in each of the last. Go.
This is the last one.
This is the last one.
And then we gotta use the keys.
Honestly, it's like obviously all of us know it now. It's super quick. We can just.
Well, that's what I was going to say. There's one of you for each riddle, so I was going to say each of you should take a riddle.
I'll take riddle 1. Kobe, you ready? I'm ready. All right, man. So take Doug's link on there to get to the riddles. Okay. And then you should be at the home. Just hit click here to get started, and then up at the top, you can select. There's like instructions, ransomware, decryptor, riddle 1 through 6. Okay. So we're gonna start with riddle 1. Riddle 1. So read the. You have here. Oh, cool. Keith is actually going through from on the screen here. So it's roses are red, violets are blue. Caesar would be 8 is your first clue. Decrypt, and then it gives you your letters, and enter it below. It may be a key that might just show. So what do you think you gotta do?
I'm warming up. Alright.
Perfect warm up right here.
Yeah.
Just gotta figure out a way to decrypt it.
Yeah,
And
so
what's the
this is
easiest
all
way to
the
decrypt it?
this is all the crypto stuff, the cryptography stuff.
Binary
Yeah,
converting.
okay.
So Caesar's the cipher, and basically we just gotta decrypt that text. I don't know of a command line utility off the top of my head to use a Caesar cipher. I know you can code it in Python, but
You can also Google websites.
yeah, you can also Google the websites. That's what we did. That's what we
Google.
did.
No, it's not binary. It's
Caesar.
No,
That's right. That's right. Sorry.
So there was one interesting question that got posed during this. Let's see if you get tripped up on it as well. This is a good warm up. Basically, I guess with the Caesar cipher, you can encrypt it, or basically it's like which way is the offset going? Is it like minus or plus? How do we determine if we should use minus or plus? Like if we should shift to the left or shift to the right, basically.
Okay. I'm still typing it in. Let me take a look.
Look at my screen too. I'm showing you the website right here.
No worries. This is like a logical thinking question. So I got everybody on this earlier, huh?
Yeah, we this is where we went pretty in depth with everything.
So basically, you guys are kind of trained to be like pen testers and shit too, but this is to help you get in a security-minded context. Basically, what brute forcing does is it repetitively tests like each combination of different things.